Hi there, Paul Carhart here, and today we're going to look at the drawing of the very first Elvin's Pet Peeve comic strip since 1992. It's my hope and dream to resurface these characters, so I would like to reintroduce them to the public. I felt the way to do that would be to surface the old comic strips under the banner of classic Peeve or something like that, and then also do new cartoons that take into account the time that's passed, and there's an in-universe reason for it, which will be revealed if you want to read it. And in the meantime, I got to draw a new comic strip. And here comes the dog. Bye, Harmony. You going downstairs? Okay. So anyways, apparently I have my own pet peeve. Today we're going to look at drawing the very first Elvin's Pet Peeve comic strip since 1992. I'm not the same steady hand that I used to be, so we'll see how we do. But, my eyes aren't as good either. But I think I can do it. Stick around for a few minutes, and when we're done, we'll have a new comic strip. Hope you like it. So I like to storyboard my comic strips, and I'll do it on a napkin or some empty pieces of paper or something. But it's rarely very formal. On this, I already had figured out what the panels were going to be. It's actually a two-part comic strip because it's the return of Peeve. So I thought it would be momentous to have all the various characters that are present in the comic strip all present on the return comic strip. So I broke it into two parts. So it's two panels. I think we're just going to look at the first two panels of the strip here today. But anyways, so I get out the artboard, I draw out the panels, I figured out what all that is from the storyboard. So I figure out how many panels it's going to be, what the angles of the characters are going to be at, basically kind of quote camera angles. And then I draw the thing on in non-photo blue like I did on the previous video for the t-shirt design. So I do all that in non-photo blue, and then I start inking it. So here I'm drawing all these various little characters that have been in the comic strip before, because they're all witness to this magical portal that's appearing down the little road here. So it's sort of a cameo guest appearances of some of these characters that I haven't drawn for many years. So anyways, yeah. That's the penciling of it. And then I've got various pens. They don't make the same pens that I used to use. So I went down to the art supply store. It was like traveling in time. And I bought a few different weight pens that I seemed to like. And so I just started seeing which ones are best suited for the different kinds of art I'm trying to do here. So Peeve's coming through a magical portal. That's what's happening. That's how he's returning to the town in which he used to live in the old comic strips. So that's the introduction here of that. The first frame shows the portal appearing, and then there's a little town down below where all the other characters live. And then they're going to run up and kind of say, what's going on here? So that's basically the idea of the comic strip. And the joke is the same as the t-shirt joke. Is that Peeve's back because he's backing his way through the portal. So that's the joke. So, and then he said, Peeve's back, and then the other character, Gerard the dwarf, says, "Oh no," and he's the one that Peeve has harassed for years. So anyone that's read it would identify with Gerard's response. And that was typical of my cartoons before, is I would have a punchline and I would pay it off with another character-related punchline. So here we're seeing the second panel come to fruition. We see a far-off rendition of this portal, and we're seeing a little road that leads off. And in the foreground there is a sign, which I was very commonly, I usually do these kind of wood grain looking signs. Also on the left side in the foreground is Sirloin of Beef. He's the knight character. He speaks in sort of a King James type speech. And I'm using a lot thinner pen to do some of these other characters that are more in the background, to sort of give them a little bit less weight and let them seem more further in the background. So this is Soot Lips, the dragon. He smokes a big giant cigar, which he can, of course, light with his own flame. He lives in a cave with a little fly named Fry Fly. Interesting fun fact, Fry Fly was a character I drew in the 6th grade. My 6th grade teacher at George Washington Carver in Long Beach was Mr. Leftwich, and he allowed me to make a cartoon character of Fry Fly and put it up on the bulletin board, I think once a week. And so that was my first comic strip. So Fry Fly has made his way into this world. He's roommates with the dragon, so you've got size and you've got sort of an odd couple thing going on. Fry doesn't like to smoke and all that stuff. So then we've got Gerard running along. We've got Gwen, who's Elvin's on again, off again girlfriend, who's a serving wench. There's Fry Fly. And then Elvin's leading the way, and they're all saying, "What in the heck is going on?" And we don't know, but we'd like to find out. And so that's the first half of the new comic strip here. I do all my own lettering. I don't use a computer. I could use Comic Sans or something, but it just doesn't feel like old school comic strip. So here's my wood grain sign. I typically will do to sort of use a thinner ink pen to kind of create the grains of wood on it. And it just gives it a texture that makes it feel different. And there's everything except for the borders. I use a much thicker pen. It's actually a Sharpie that I'm using here. I typically did not use Sharpies, but it's the only really nice thick pen I could get. And then sometimes I'll use another thinner pen to kind of square off the corners and make them seem like they have sharp edges on them. So I just did a few little highlights, little textury things to make the poof thing happen, and some other little tweaks and things, some smoke for the cigar, and then some little treatments on the poof, and then we're done. So thank you guys for watching. Keep coming back. I'm hoping to do a new video every week or so. So these videos will not just cover Peeve. We're going to talk about all different aspects of creativity and doing it yourself, kind of music, writing, publishing, and those kind of things. So that's what I'll be going behind the scenes on. Please subscribe, like, share all the various social media constructs that there are. Please do that with my videos, and let's see if we can get a little following here for Peeve after 25 years. I would very much appreciate that. Thank you very much.